To the woman that got ghosted or discarded or left on red, or the man just started pulling back and you noticed that he moved on to somebody else, let me go ahead and clear something up for you. Men who discard you like that do not do so for a woman that's better. They do so for a woman who is easier. The real reason why he discarded you is because you became better and or you required him to be better. But he didn't want to do that. And you see, it's a lot easier to just move on to somebody else instead of improving yourself. I'm not telling you I'm not telling you something that you would like to hear. Just think about when he started pulling back. Just think about whenever you notice his facial expression would change or the energy would change in the conversation. It happened whenever you wanted to hold him accountable, right? Whenever you stop just going along to get along, when you stop just believing everything without any kind of proof, any type of track record, the moment you started saying, okay, I need you to show more than you just say and promise. I need you to prove these things that you're saying. I need you to be accountable. It's not just sex and dinner and flowers and conversations. It's actually going to be personal growth and accountability and humility as well. That's whenever he started switching up on you. He said you wasn't being peaceful enough, because he wasn't allowed to continue compromising your inner peace by neglecting your needs. So he went to somebody who don't know how he be lying and don't mind that he be lying. That's what really happened. That the man who discards you like that, especially if the catalyst was, and you notice that everything took a shift whenever you wanted to hold him accountable, he did so for a woman that was not better, easier. So many times y'all get in these situations, you give your all and you think, well, it must be because I was too harsh. It must be because I was too negative. Maybe he was right and I was too broken from my last relationship. No. He was too coddled in his last relationship. And he wanted you to do the exact same thing. You see, the last chick got tired of him. The same way you got tired of him, but you stayed and you tried to make things work. The last woman got tired of him. And he found his way on out. And it's not that you were necessarily easier, but you being empathic, you giving him benefit of the doubt, that was easier until it wasn't. Until you finally started speaking up for yourself. And guess what? The train continues. The trend continues. That man did not leave you or discard you for somebody, a woman who is better. He discarded you for a woman who is easier. I promise you that. You wanted growth. You wanted consistency. You wanted those types of things. He's not ready to be that. I know it sounds crazy, like, well, why wouldn't he want to be better? Because some men are comfort oriented. They're not growth oriented. They're comfort oriented. Wherever they're at right now, that's what they want to be for the rest of their life. That's the real reason why a lot of older dudes want much younger women. Those girls that 22 years old, I mean, no disrespect to y'all, but if you haven't seen these games for yourself, a lot of older dudes, they're preying on your naivete. They want you because you don't already know the games they're going to play before they play them, and they're intent on continuing to play them. So they can leverage the fact that you ain't lived this before, and you're going to go for that whole just, hey, I have things going on, and all them excuses, all of them promises is never going to materialize. It's usually the grown women that have already seen this act before, and they're not about to live through it. They've seen the preview to this movie, and they're not about to watch the exact same thing, another rerun. That's the real reason why a lot of dudes want these much younger women. So when a dude just discards you, again, it's not because the next woman is more beautiful than you. She's more valuable than, no. It's not because she's more deserving of a real man. No. It's because she is less demanding of his growth. She is easier to fool. She is easier to handle. She is easier to control. He didn't trade up. He tapped out. That's what really happened. He didn't trade up. He tapped out. Now, the biggest thing that you need to make sure is that whenever you come into a situation and the man decides he's going to start comparing you to other women or feeling like he can do better than you, and he decides to go ahead and take that leap, that it doesn't leave you messed up. This is why you got to have your own. I always preach this because I've seen it too many times where as a woman, you will rely on a man, and not because you're weak, not because you can't do for yourself, but because you're trusting. You're trusting him to be the man, and he positioned himself to be in the very beginning. He did all of this provision. He did all of this caretaking and making sure you good and making your life easier. And you said, I'm going to trust you to continue that. And I've seen men use that to snatch the rug under a woman's feet. The moment that she becomes too inconvenient. So you need to have your own, and don't get it twisted in thinking that having your own is being able to pay your bills every single month. But you barely doing that. You just check to check, because that's still the same as not having your own, because now you're still going to be afraid that this man can at any point in time remove himself from the picture, and all of that financial stress is going to be strictly on you. Having your own is having surplus, at least $20,000 in the bank. And if you ain't got that, you at least need to have a 700 credit score, which is just as good as having a $20,000 to $30,000 in the bank. Because it is in the bank. You can really go to any bank and go get $20,000 to $30,000 if you have a 700 credit score. And if you don't have one, because you done lived life and mistakes happen, cool. Don't trip. Just get your credit repaired. Get your credit repaired. And there's no shame in doing that. Nothing illegal about it. I got my credit repaired. If you want my credit repair guy, honestly, he's the best in the world, and he does credit repair the fastest. I'm going to put the link down here, but just comment the word fixed. Comment the word fixed if you need your credit fixed. If your score starts with a 4, 5, or 6, the fact that you even listening to me now gives you no excuse. You should have a 700 or better in the next 30 days. Comment the word fixed, and I'm going to send you access to my credit repair specialist. He will fix your credit for a fraction of his normal cost. Normally, yes, it is $2,000. That's why a lot of people don't get their credit repaired. But tonight, for the next, I think, 7 more people, he's doing credit repair completely for $250. Whenever you comment fixed, I'll show it. The video will be on that page that you click to, and you'll be able to see my credit repair that he did. I'm not about to just vouch for just anybody. But like I said, regardless of how you do it, you got to come in with your own, because yes, dudes will think that the grass is greener on the other side. And maybe it is if the grass is no accountability. The grass is greener. If the man is looking for a place where he's not going to be challenged, he's not going to be asked to show up, he's going to be able to just miss appointments and not keep promises and not be questioned about them, that grass is greener. Because there's manure in it. Straight up. But the misconception is that whenever you see that man and he's happier and he's doing better and you out here healing and you still alone and you ain't got nobody that he done upgraded. No, he didn't replace you with better. He replaced you with less. Now, I'm not trying to be harsh to the new girl. And there are situations where, hey, that woman is honestly better for him and just a better fit. I'm talking specifically to the woman that noticed things went south when you started holding that man accountable. That's when the argument started happening. That's when he started pulling away. That's whenever he started saying you were being negative or stressful. It wasn't because you actually came in disrespecting or pushing him away for no reason. You just were asking for him to reciprocate your energy. If that's the case, whoever he went to, it reveals his weakness, not your worth. You wanted consistency. There are women out here who are cool with all those excuses he got. You wanted loyalty. There are some women out here who are just fine with breadcrumbs, splitting that man, sharing that man with whoever. That's not better. That's just less resistance to who that man has committed himself to being, who he's complacent being. Stop thinking that because that man have moved on into a new relationship and from the outside looking in, they happy. That you the one missing out because you over here and you're truly healing. You're truly taking your time. You truly are just looking in the mirror and saying, how can you be better? You truly are restricting access to those that seemingly want to repeat the patterns you've already had to survive. That's what it looks like when the person is loyal and all in a relationship. They can't immediately hop into a new relationship. They can't. Not unless that relationship was really over long before it finally ended. The loyal person is always the one that takes their time. You raising your standards. That means now less men can get in. So yeah, it looks like you the one that's without anybody and you lonely and he over here and he got somebody. But look, men who aren't ready to grow, they see accountability as nagging. And I just want you to frame it the right way that It wasn't because you were nagging or doing it. No, that was you calling him to a higher standard when, again, he's gotten complacent where he's at. You asked him to communicate. You asked him to operate from a healed place or to just step up as a man. You were only asking him to be the man that he came in as to even get your attention. So his resistance first looks like trying to discourage you from that. And at some point, it looks like him just trying to swap you for another woman who demands nothing. And I hate to say it like that, but that's just what it is. No disrespect, but the next girl, she might be more compatible with his toxicity. The next woman, she might have low enough self-esteem to let this man trample all over her. Whereas you were saying, no, I'm not going. The next woman, she may be willing to continue rewarding that man for bad behavior. Whereas you were like, no, you're not getting access to my body if you are not stimulating me mentally or caretaking for me emotionally. That's just what it is. That's just what it is. And when a man chooses a girl that's just easier, that's proof that you were stretching him. You were calling him out of his comfort zone, which is a good thing for a growth-oriented man. Diamonds are made under pressure. And you were the pressure pushing him towards his full potential, but he was cubic zirconia. So he knew it was only a matter of time before he just broke, because he ain't made of the stuff. You would benefit a man if he were made of that. That's why I always say, like, we understand that a woman can maximize everything in a man's life, but what's 100 times 0? If that man ain't got it in here, there ain't nothing you can maximize. You can be the greatest woman. You can be the most amazing, most inspirational woman. It takes a certain level of humility, of awareness on that man's part to be able to benefit from you. Stop measuring yourself based on how you impact a man. Otherwise, you're going to keep trying to force things with a man who can't be impacted by a woman like you. He can't. He can't. And it ain't got nothing to do with you. Everything to do with him. There are just some men who, instead of rising to meet the standard that you're calling them to, that you feel like he could meet, they're going to run to avoid it. They're going to run to avoid it. And by run, what I mean is they're going to downgrade to their comfort zone. They don't want to be better. Easier feels like safety to a weak man. Easier feels like safety to a weak man. I need y'all to understand that. I just want you to be safe. It's not safe to come around you and it's not safe. No, that woman is going to challenge you. That's all. But you know what? He'll go from a woman who challenged his lies to a woman who believes him without question. But that's not winning. That is hiding. That is hiding. And this is why I say you can't change no man. If he come in and he ain't got compatible values with you, you got to accept it for what it is. It ain't no amount of right you can be to inspire or convince a man who's already decided he don't want to be right. He don't want to be better. He doesn't. But you don't lose when a man chooses a woman that's easier. You actually win clarity. His exit reveals his capacity. You should be thankful he weeded himself out. Because now you're free to find a man who matches your standards instead of resenting them. Like the very things he called impossible, that's exactly what a true alpha male will provide effortlessly. Don't think that because that man ran to another girl and she just shuts up and listens and just decides to just be pretty and not have no brain cells. And I know it sounds disrespectful, but I'm not here to tickle your ears. I'm just here to call a spade a spade. There are some women out here who honestly, they have not put in the same work on themselves that you have. They have not managed access to their heart, to their body, the same way that you have. They sell it to the highest bidder, any bidder. Ain't got to be the highest no more. But anything worth having ain't easy. And anything easy ain't worth having. Y'all know the saying. A woman who tolerates his bare minimum is going to eventually become the woman who resents it. All of those good things he done waved in front of her to incent, like, bait her into the same trap. She just got to learn. She just don't know yet that it don't fulfill her either. When all of that excitement starts to fade, he even gonna realize ease doesn't equal peace. And then he'll discard her as well. She just don't know. But the woman who accepts that inconsistency from him is one day she's going to demand consistency that you once asked for. And he'll still be unequipped. It's just a matter of time. The man who discards you for no good reason, he doesn't upgrade to better. He doesn't. He settles for easier. He settles for easier. And then the woman that he discarded is always the one to continue growing once she heals, while he just stays the same. He chose the path of least resistance, and you chose evolution. You should be proud of yourself, because in the end, your growth is going to outlast his shortcuts. It never works out for these guys. You just give it a year, and you're going to be thriving in ways he could never have contributed to. He only would have held you back. Whole time he's stuck recycling the same patterns with somebody else. This is where you see these 45, 50-year-old dudes still playing the same games they was playing when they was 20 and 22 years old, 25 years old. The lack of growth is not an accident. You see, if a woman is 21, 22 years old, you might be with a young guy, 21, 22, and guess what? He may be in certain patterns that he's going to grow out of. By 30, 35, that man is who he is. That man is who he is. So stop comparing yourself to the new chick. Just stop comparing yourself to the new chick. She's not better. She's just less of a mirror to his flaws. If he couldn't handle you, that was his limitation. It wasn't your failure. Men who want to stay average, they're always going to choose easier women. But those men who truly do have a purpose, they are committed to it. They're going to always choose better. Which means choosing you, the woman who's requiring better. I know a lot of y'all be thinking like, well, I'm getting a relationship. I have a better understanding of a relationship, of a healthy relationship. I'm a better version of me and I'm willing to contribute to a better relationship. Therefore, that's what I'm going to hold my man accountable to. Does he actually want better? Well, Derrick, if he didn't want that, then why did he even get with me? Some men are addicted to the honeymoon phase. Some men are addicted to the honeymoon phase. Some men are addicted to that space where the woman doesn't know all of this toxic things so he can perform really well up until that mask starts to slip. There are many reasons why a man will choose you even though you're not going for the nonsense. Some men hope they can conquer you. You're such a beautiful, powerful, intelligent woman. You being another notch on his belt will help him and his emptiness feel just a little bit more substantial than what he truly is. And of course, again, you ain't going. You ain't going, meaning you're not falling for it. But like I said in the beginning, you also got to make sure as you are dating and vetting, because these things do take time to fully show themselves. You cannot do so from a place of lack, from a place you cannot date these days broken. Because men out here, they're predators sometimes. Not all the time, but a lot of men are predators. And they're looking to leverage that traumatic void, if you have one, against you. You can't come out here being a sex addicted or soul tied and not able to break it. Like, you can't. Men will take advantage of that. You definitely can't be out here financially struggling. I know I pay my bills, but if it's stretching you thin, if it's burning you out, then a man will come in and provide, but from a predatory place, knowing that he's taking some stress off your shoulders, and therefore you can't let him go. And this is why look, anybody, we live in a different day and age. You don't have to be with just, $500, $1,000 to your name no more. We live in a day and age where if you have a 700 credit score, that's just as good as having $20,000 to $30,000 a lump sum in your bank. This is the part they're not going to tell you. They also not going to tell you, as opposed to the whole like, oh, you got to wait 7 years for stuff to fall off your credit. you can get a credit repair specialist, as long as you get a legitimate one, that can get your credit right in 30 days, possibly even less. My credit repair specialist, he took my score from a 490 to an 816 in 30 days. Comment the word fixed. I'm going to send you a link so you can see it for yourself. I literally open up my laptop and show you what he did to my credit score. I show you the 816. I show you the click, all of that. And I don't care if you like me, you financially responsible, but guess what? You done had life happen to you. There may be some late payments. Don't matter. They can come off your credit report. Yes. I saw questions about this. Late payments, collections, repossessions, bankruptcies, don't matter. Anything, school loan payments you done got behind, credit cards, I don't care what it is. If it's on your credit report and it's bringing down your score, legitimately and legally, it can be removed using the FCRA, the Fair Credit Reporting Act. You just got to get connected to somebody who knows it. Again, my credit repair specialist, his name is Eli Washington. I mean, if you go and just get his information and go look him up, he's $2,000. Normally, that's what he charged me. But like I said, I know it was earlier, it was 15 people. I think it's 7 spots left. If your credit score starts with a 4, a 5, or a 6, and you know that you need your credit fixed, comment the word fixed. And I'm going to send you a link so you can get hooked up with Eli today. I don't gatekeep. Because I remember when I was looking for somebody to get me right, it was like a needle in a haystack. But back to what I was saying, the moral of the story is this. When a man leaves you, when that man discards you, you did nothing wrong. Y'all didn't just fall apart. He really discarded you and then immediately went out and got somebody else. It wasn't for a woman that was better. It was for a woman that was easier. And easier isn't lasting. Easier isn't fulfilling. Easier isn't growth. He didn't level up. He checked out. And while he takes the easy route, you're going to keep becoming a woman he can never rise high enough to deserve anyway. But those are just my thoughts. Y'all know I'm your internet big bro and I got your back. So if this was helpful to you, keep your money. But I do ask that you pay it forward by finding a little arrow down here and hitting that share button so somebody else can get blessed by this the same way that you did. Yes, the little arrow so you can put this on your timeline and spread this truth. Oh, and again, for those, I got to check and see what the number is. But if you're seeing this now and your credit score starts with a 4, a 5, or a 6, and you want to get that repaired by somebody who knows the FCRA back and forth legally, quickly, because he gives a 30-day money-back guarantee. That's how good he is. There's no risk except for you missing out on the discount because he normally charges $2,000. It's $250 today only, or for the next 7 people. That might be for the next hour. I would advise you to comment the word fixed or hit the link that I pinned down here, down in the comments. Go ahead, secure your spot, check your email. Like when you get over to that link, there's going to be a button that says fix my credit now, or whatever it says. It's a purple button. Click that, secure, and then look at your email so you can get the process started and get your credit up to a 700 plus in 30 days or your money back. But those are just my thoughts. I'll holler at y'all later. Y'all be good.